environmental, geological, and mineral sector support services. Yeah, maybe neither specifies nor makes clear what really is meant by this, or in particular. However, it best describes our work. On the other hand, it is a description of Beak's history, maybe, our services, our references, the work that we've been doing during the past decades, I have to say. On the other hand, it stands for Beak's future plans, maybe solutions for the future in that regard. Another possible heading could have been, maybe in an even more general term, past achievements and future plans or future challenges. Firstly, our support services are a story of data collection and data digitization. Let me underline why it is of capital importance for all the following steps, especially. So, geodata is relevant for geoscientific disciplines for all, especially in a digital environment. We know that geodata are a valuable economic asset, but always subject to availability. Geodata can be a treasure, for example, investment attraction or opportunities. But most of all, it is a database for interpretation and knowledge transfer. I've selected, for example, from Beak's past or Beak's history, that first of all underline our past achievements. The first one is an assessment of the projected climate changes in Saxony and their impact on the water and nutrition balance in the Pate River basin from 2004. Another example is the Kosovo Mineral Resources Management Plan from 2009. So to underline that it is not only true for the past, but still stays true for the future, we do have the example of the Earth Data Namibia platform, which kept us basically busy between or from 2001 until nowadays. And the FIS Hydro, which kept us busy currently with the migration to ArcGIS Pro. Now the question occurs, in which context data collection and data digitization takes place? Our services are connected to three main, or maybe key content pillars. One is geology raw material, the other one environmental planning, and then, of course, everything to do with climate, water, soil, and hydrogeology. One could simplify or summarize these pillars with the general term of natural sciences. However, they range from questions with regard to geology, exploration, geosciences, data management, and so on, resources, up to environmental planning, and ends up with issues or questions with regard to water, air, soil, and so on. However, none of these issues stands alone, and they are all interconnected, especially in our projects, and can often only be understood when considered as a whole. Whenever we collect, digitize, handle data, the question of technology arises. Which approach is best? Which solution makes sense? or which algorithm is suitable for the data, and what conclusion can I draw using which method. This is the so-called, or yeah, I would say, technological backbone of our company. A source of ideas, maybe inspiration for questions and research that look beyond the immediate horizon. Now, once the data has been collected and digitized, we need to bridge the gap to ensure data is genuine and valuable. So going the road from digital to data. Data has been collected, for example, in the field. We do have examples for analog data logging. We do have as well in our company examples for digital field capturing, and last but not least, even for mobile data recording. In this context, we have to create interfaces between data collection on the one side and data interpretation on the other. This could be, for example, a simple storage solution or database solution, whatever it is, or in the picture, a comprehensive project like the MINA core module as a scalable foundation for digitization in nature conservation. You will have an insight, as Andreas already mentioned, later on. This interface, however, the interface between data collection and data interpretation, delivers the greatest benefit and is maybe the most value. The final question concerns working with the data. How can we get the most out of it from data to conclusions, so to say? Our story comprises manifold examples of data interpretation, scientific research, whatever it is. And now more and more other topics came up, like participation and transparency. For example, how do we achieve the widest reach if applicable? Or will we have to consider rights of others? What transparency rules are appropriate or necessary? Another point to consider is this: sharing data means creating added value, and in some cases, even attracting investment. In any case, questions with regard to data reliability and data governance becoming more and more important, which is true especially before the background, the more data we get or the more data we generate. Besides, since this year, Beak is implementing an AI directive according to DSGVO standards. Now we've traced the thread from data collection through data management and interpretation and so on, digitization. One last step remains, which is how data is transferred into knowledge. Our symposium now and all of the individual presentations following are the best example maybe of how we handle this. It is an overview of challenges we overcame within the past maybe months, weeks, years, but as well challenges we will have to overcome in the future. I already mentioned the MINA system. You will have an insight of the safeguarding drinking water and risk management for reservoirs, for example. We will give you a high-resolution insight of how high-resolution drone surveys are taking place for mining sites and infrastructure. We will raise the question of how pelargonic acid will have an impact on water bodies. Then, of course, as already mentioned, an overview of 3D mineral potential mapping, then of how deep exploration is boosted by advanced exploration technologies, and how we overcame the challenge from intuition to quantitative hybrid mineral potential mapping. We will have an insight of a strategic environmental and social assessment of the DRC. And last but not least, you will have an insight of the project for deep electromagnetic sounding for mineral exploration. So to sum up, we are definitely looking forward working with you, and our focus on research and development, on information technology, on resource management, but as well resource protection, on the mining sector development services, and especially environmental planning. And this is true wherever our projects lead us or bring us, to the African desert, to rocks, sediments into the ground, to water, and even infrastructure. In this regard, once again, welcome to our annual symposium. I wish you an interesting discussion and interesting presentations. Welcome once again, and yeah, thank you.